Chris Watts had already admitted responsibility. But weeks later, he asked to speak again. No pressure, no deal, no reason to explain himself. So why change the story? Tonight, we're breaking down why this second statement matters more than the first. Before we continue, we honor them again. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, Nico. Type Amen in the comments. Not out of routine, but remembrance. Because this part of the story isn't about shock. It's about understanding. People think confessions are about truth. In reality, they're often about control of the narrative. Chris Watts was already sentenced. Nothing he said could change the outcome. So ask yourself, why revisit the story? Why add details? Why remove others from the explanation? Those choices reveal far more than the words themselves. November 2018. Chris Watts sits down with investigators again. This time, he's calmer, more composed. This isn't someone under pressure. This is someone trying to shape how he will be remembered. In the first statement, responsibility was partially redirected. In the second, that changes. No accusations. No emotional explanations. Just a quieter version of events. That shift is important. Because when a story becomes simpler, it often becomes more intentional. He now shares additional moments. More sequence. More structure. But less emotion. When people recall genuine trauma, emotion often interrupts memory. Here, memory flows smoothly. That tells us something.
What's your daughter's name?
McKenna.
Okay. Was she the one watching the kids the night before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I saw her name in her report or something. How did that go with Dave and Jeremy?
Oh, good. They're just there just to show support. Just, chilling in the kitchen.
Just two of them?
And then that's me. Yeah, me and them.
And Lauren and all them had gone by then?
Oh yeah, everybody else is gone by then.
Okay. When they come over to show support, what are you guys talking about?
Just talking about like what could have happened. Like, do you think she could have gone somewhere? Do you think she's actually taken? Like, just random questions like that. And then they're just talking about just other stuff to kind of get things off my head a little bit.
Okay. Okay. 10 o'clock. I lay in bed and proceed to take calls from friends and family the rest of the night. How did that go?
And just answering, nobody can sleep as far as East Coast, anything like, Addie, Sam.
Who's Addie and Sam again?
Addie, they're leaders in Thrive.
Okay.
They're people that Shanann reaches up to.
Okay. Have we talked to them?
Oh yeah, he talked to them on the phone.
You have?
I've texted them, it's all on there.
Okay. And so, the real live communication sense, we couldn't find Shanann?
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Have police talked to them?
I believe so.
Okay. Just on the phone?
Yes.
Are they in North Carolina?
No, they're like northeast.
Northeast what?
Like Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, over there.
Alright. Who else calls?
See, her mom, talked to my parents, talked to my sister, texted with Kelly, that's another, she lives in New Jersey. Oh, who else? Jeremy, Dave. All those people.
Okay. Alright. Can we talk about something that's kind of hard to talk about? So when I work investigations like this, I have to keep an open mind on everything. Okay. And part of keeping an open mind is listening to you talk about your wife and your marriage, and the day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. Okay? So you can understand what I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. Like, I know, like, I've talked to a few of my friends, it's like, this does not look good on you. I'm like, I know. It's like, if people knew that we were having marital issues, they're going to look at me, especially with the way everything looks. And it honestly just makes me sick to my stomach because this is something that I would never do. Ever. I know, like, you have to look at every vantage point. This is something I would never do to my kids or my wife at all. I'm not sure like what I could do to make people believe that, just because if they knew we were having marital discord, they would automatically look at me. But there's no, I would harm anybody in my family at all. I know we were having marital discord, and we had that conversation that morning, and then she goes, we have no idea where she is, or the kids. I promise you that I had nothing to do with any of that.
Are you telling me the truth?
I'm telling you the absolute truth.
Why should I believe you?
Because I'm a very trustworthy person, and the people that do know me, they know how I'm a calm person. I am not an argumentative person. I am a person who is never going to be abusive or physical in any kind of relationship. I would never harm my kids. I would never harm my wife. You can talk to any of my friends, any of her friends. They know me. They know I'm a low-key guy that's quiet. I'm not about confrontation. I'm not about anything that elevates to that level. I mean, if someone yells at me, screams at me, I just take it and I just try to get it by the wayside and get it back to where it's just a cool conversation to where none of that gets to that height. Because I am not that person. I've never been that person.
Okay. You can imagine it's my job. Okay. And I told you that tonight, we would talk about things and might offend you, you know that we have to get to the bottom of this. You know that. Yeah. Okay. Would you take a polygraph?
Sure.
Okay. Would you take it tonight?
If that's what you want me to do. Yeah. I've never done one. I don't know what it involves, but.
Okay. You know where it is?
From what I've seen, it goes on your finger.
You know what the purpose of one is?
It's for a lie detector test.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we do this? Let's take a little break. I'm going to come back in here because I have a lot more questions for you. Okay. I want to remind you that tonight is voluntary. Okay. I can't keep you in here. I won't keep you in here. If you want to get right up and walk out of here, you can do that. Okay. All right. Do you want to keep talking with me?
I mean, I can.
Okay.
I mean, if that's what you want, I can keep talking.
Okay. And you understand that I'm not arresting you right now. You understand that you can walk out of here at any time.
Sure.
Okay. Having said that, if you want to talk to you, I have a lot more questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know where your wife is?
You know where my wife is.
Are you telling me the truth?
I'm telling you the absolute truth.
Okay. Let's take a tiny break. Get some water. Do you need to use the restroom?
No.
Okay. There's some water or Gatorade actually if you need it. I'm going to step out for a minute. I need to look over some of my notes. I'm going to come right back in here. I'm not going to be out very long, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
We'll have everyone else. I'm just going to keep this room for a little bit longer. So just shuffle people through the other rooms. All right. How you feeling?
Looking at that picture. God. Celeste loved those shoes, even though they were winter shoes.
They were what?
Winter shoes.
Those are fur boots, aren't they?
Shanann was gonna sell them off to like that Facebook marketplace. She had them on the windowsill there. And when we got back to North Carolina, she saw them sitting over there. And she proceeded to take them back and wear them every day since they got back. No matter if it was 100 degrees outside or what, she loved those shoes. She always loves those shoes. And Bella, she always wore some flip-flops. She always will. She just like, she loved that dress. She loved those flip-flops. Cece loved that dress. She likes the buttons in the back.
Is Cece short or something?
Celeste.
Bella and Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about them.
BNC. Celeste. She's Rampage. She's always the one that's gung-ho. She's always the one that's just like, she's off. She's either go or sleep. She's always the one growling. She's always been, she's a tiger. Bella, she's the calm, the mothering one. She's the one that's always, you okay? You okay? Fine? Okay. She's just the sweetest little girl. She's the one that favors me more, and Celeste is the one that favors Shanann more. And the way I look at it. You see some baby pictures of me, and Bella is just like, oh, she, the other way around.
So when you say favorite, do you mean look like?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Are they Wolf Daddy's girl?
That one is.
Yeah, that's how it works, isn't it?
Because the first one I wasn't really good at it yet. Second one I knew what I was doing, and she bonded with me right from the start.
Yeah.
I remember when they wore that dress. She just wore that dress not too long ago. I unbuttoned the back of it so I could get her pajamas on. She goes, no, Daddy, button. I got button. And Bella loves those spaghetti strap dresses. She likes long dresses. She was a girly girl. Always. She is just like, I always like tried to put her in a Supergirl t-shirt, and she loved it. Every time. She always be smiling though. Bella, you have to like really kind of, like, you want some gum? She said, you want some gum? She was been looking at this picture. She's always just smiling at the camera. I'm gonna find him, right?
I need your help.
I gotta find him. I gotta find Shanann. This is the picture Celeste sent me, where it was side by side of Bella and Celeste and Shanann. There was a post to like one of the news companies.
Okay.
This was the picture they used of the girls.
All right. Were you thinking about anything while I stepped out?
Just how much I want to see these two girls and my wife again. Just I want them to come home.
I mentioned that children go missing in the FBI, it's a lot like you see in the movies. We like to get every single one of our recent resources. We like to call every agent and wake them up out of bed, call them back from vacation. We just really like to put a full force in. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you're comfortable supporting? Yeah. Okay. That means that I want to have as many eyes, as many hands, as many investigators, as many evidence people as we can possibly get looking at your house. Okay. Can we do that right this minute?
Up to.
Okay.
I'll stay out of the way if you want.
Okay. That's usually best. For you, for us, for everyone. Okay.
Can you show me go stay at my friend's house then?
Is that an option?
Yeah, because I'm not sure if it's still outside. I'm not sure or not.
All right. Oh, I forgot to ask you about your phone.
Yeah. I don't have much to, I didn't have to take one there anyways.
Okay.
But, concrete block.
So, what I might do then is in, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, I might just step out for a very quick break and just say, guys, let's go in that house right now.
2385.
You did tell me that, and I did write it. The garage is 2385?
The front door.
The front door, 2385, and that latch or whatever is not going to get in our way?
It should be unlatched.
Okay, good. All right.
If it is, just call me.
And when they go in there, I want them to run a black light over everything. I want them to collect DNA. I want them to look for hair strands and DNA samples, and I want them to look at your stuff and your wife's stuff and your children's stuff and the garage stuff and the car stuff, all of it.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any problems with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So then I want them to do that sooner than later. I might step out here in a minute and just tell them the code and just let them know, guys, let's find how we can get these girls. Okay. Can we keep talking about some complicated things? Some things that are going to make you uncomfortable?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And I think you know why I have to ask them. Okay. And
hard job.
It's a hard job. It is a hard job. And I'm going to ask you one thing, and you're going to give me an answer, and I'm going to ask it just a slight bit different, and you're going to give me an answer, and then about 10 iterations of this, you might get annoyed, but I do that to make sure that we understand each other. Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have your daughters who are missing. We have your wife who's missing. Okay. And that's the most important thing right now. Okay. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So you've done very good in talking to me about this really hard conversation you guys had. Okay. Very good. That's sometimes hard. And I understand why sometimes someone in your position says, doesn't want to tell me about that. Because please go help me find my kids, and you don't need to know about my marriage argument, okay? So I got to say, you've done very good at that, and I need you to keep doing that. So I need to ask you about your marriage and infidelity.
Sure.
Okay, tell me about it.
I have never cheated on my wife.
Okay.
And I fully suspect she has never done that to me.
Oh, okay.
Like, she's always been a trustworthy person. I've always been a trustworthy person. I fully expect if we ever thought about straying another way, that we would tell each other before it happened.
I think that sounds ridiculous.
Okay.
Because in the history of the earth, nobody ever does that.
Okay. I just, that's what I would like to think.
Okay.
I mean, I know mistakes happen. Like,
sure.
You know.
Yeah.
But that's what in my head, that's what I would think would happen. I would hope would happen.
Okay.
But
now, even though I think that sounds ridiculous, if I was in your shoes, I'd say the exact same thing. And I believe that. Okay. But I kind of don't. And you can imagine in my job, I meet all kinds of people. Mm-hmm. And you can imagine that there are people who have Saturdays with their girlfriends and Sundays with their wives.
Okay.
Right? And they consider themselves to be very virtuous people. Okay. So, with that in mind, I don't care if there's been anything in your relationship. I just don't. I'm not going to tell the news, and I'm not going to tell anyone, but I do need to know. So, is there anyone that you think that maybe your wife got close with?
If she did, it was very secretive then, if that was the case, because I had no inkling.
No
at
idea.
all. No, it wasn't even a suspicion.
Okay, not one guy. Or girl.
No, if that was the case, I mean, I didn't have one suspicion about it. Like, if it happened, it wasn't even like, I wasn't aware.
Nothing.
There was no clue. There was no, like, you know, texting with the phone, like, back, or like, you know, I walk in, swipe type thing. I didn't really have any of that.
Okay. No perfume when she's going out with the girls.
She always sprays something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It wasn't like, you know, like that 1 in a million perfume or something like that, you know.
All right. No late nights that surprised you.
No.
Okay. Now let's talk about you. Okay. On your end, I gotta ask, what's your name?
I don't have another one.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. Would you tell me if you did?
Yes.
Okay. So, again, highly trained investigator over here, right? I see pictures of you from a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I see you standing before me now. Okay, you've gotten pretty fit.
Yes.
Yeah. You can imagine when guys start cheating or want to cheat, that's what happens.
Yes.
So tell me about it.
So I did not cheat on my wife.
Okay.
Now Thrive helped me. I went from 245 pounds to
Number 245?
245 pounds.
And that's great, man.
Thank you. And I'm 185, 180 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been eating cleaner, just trying to, the last little bit. Thrive has helped me a lot, but to maintain it and try to eat cleaner has really helped me as well.
Okay. And I've got to imagine that maybe there was a girl that inspired that?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Why are you falling out of love?
After the last 5 weeks, like being by myself and being able to be myself again. I couldn't be myself around Shanann anymore.
Why not?
It was like I was walking just like, walk on eggshells type thing. It's kind of like you feel like you're always doing something that's wrong. It's like you feel like you're never like, does that make sense at all?
The timing doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. But like, it's like if you can't be yourself around your wife, who can you be yourself around?
Why couldn't you be yourself around your wife?
I just felt like I'd always have to change who I was because I was always about, I was doing the laundry, I do everything. Like, I do everything that I could for her. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the last 5 weeks, I was just, you know, just being myself, just doing me. And I just thought to myself, like, one of my buddies, Mark, he lives out in San Diego, it was like one big test that he learned, like he was divorced at one point, and he was like, so if you could picture yourself, like if you could picture your wife and she was with someone else, would you get jealous? I was like, at this point I have to say no. And he was like, well, there's your answer. Like, if you love her, it would be a different answer.
When did you start falling out of love?
It wasn't in the last 5 weeks. It's been an ongoing process for probably about a year.
Why?
I just felt like everything that we had when we first started dating and met, like we met in 2010, everything, you know, your new relationship, spark, everything's hot and heavy, everything's great. Get married, everything's still great. And then, like, you know, people just fall out of love. And that's where I was. Like, I just felt like over the last year, I thought that, like, okay, maybe this is just like a phase. Maybe it's, you know, like, just, you know, this is what happens. Like, you've been with somebody so long. Maybe, like, you know, the spark isn't there, just reignited somehow, some way. But, you know, our conversations weren't the same. Like, when we were apart, like, everything was just, like, you know, short. And it was just, like, nothing felt right anymore. The disconnection was there, and it just never felt right anymore.
But why?
It wasn't there. Like, I just didn't feel it. Like, it was like I didn't have that passion anymore.
Why not?
I really couldn't. I can't tell you. Like, the passion, I didn't feel it in my heart anymore. Like, I really can't, like, just give you a definitive answer other than that. Just like my heart wasn't in it.
I gotta tell you, that sounds like a load of horseshit to me.
I don't.
What about the girls?
Bella and Celeste are the light of my life. I'd do anything for those girls. I'd step in front of a bullet for a train for those girls.
it doesn't add up to me, then why did it spark back?
The breadth of relationship between me and Shanann has nothing to do with the love I have for these girls. I mean, the love for these girls, they're the light of my life. I would do anything for them.
Mm-hmm.
But me and Shanann talked about, like, if we separated or if we stayed together, like, what's best for the kids? Like, do we stay together for the kids? That, you look it up, it doesn't work that way. Like, it might cause more issues for the kids later on down the road with their psyche or personality or something. They know when they get older, they see, like, oh, mom and dad don't sleep in the same room anymore, like, what's going on, type thing.
Okay. If you had to guess, if you had to put your finger on it, if you had to, point to two people that are hot and heavy, that have kids that they love, what happens?
I mean, you can't take the kids into the factor because, like, when the love you have for your kids is going to be, like, exponential. I mean, it'll, no matter what, that will never die. Because those are your kids. Mm-hmm. That'll never die. Between you and your wife, like, the love that you have for each other, like, from start to finish, like, from right when you started to wherever, if your relationship ends, like, when you're in that type of relationship, you're with somebody for that long, something happens. Like, something like, if it's just conversations or if it's just like, it's not attractiveness at all, like, it's just a connection that isn't there. Like, when you can, like, look at someone or just, like, put your forehead to their forehead and you just, like, hold them and you know what each other's thinking. That's a connection. I didn't have that connection anymore.
Okay. What do I do to help you walk out of this room and not look like the person who's responsible?
You have to trust me that when I tell you that these two beautiful girls right here, I did nothing to them, and to my beautiful wife, I did nothing to her. Like, you have to trust me and believe me. Like, I know you don't know me as a person. You've known me for like 2.5, 3 hours, and I don't know what your opinion is. But you have to realize that these two beautiful girls right here and my wife, I had nothing to do with the disappearance. Like, they vanished, they were taken, someone has taken them, they're safe somewhere, we don't know. I had nothing to do with this act of, like, evil cruelty, whatever has happened here. Because my love for these two girls and my wife, like, I don't want anything to happen to them. I've never wanted anything to happen to them. No matter if me and my wife separate or not, or divorce or anything, I never wish harm on anybody, on a human being in general.
Okay.
Like, just seeing that picture, like, I want them just to run through that front door and just grab me, or just tackle me, knock me to the floor, bust my head up, I don't care. The amount of love I have for my family is exponential, and it's never going to die. And I want them back.
Okay.
I have to have them back.
Tell me about a normal day in your house.
So, like, one when I'm actually home all day.
Let's pick a day. 2 months ago.
Let's pick a Saturday.
Let's pick a school day.
A school day. Okay. So, I'm usually at work.
Okay.
But so usually I'm
their lives and your lives.
Okay. So school day. So I'll get up about 4 o'clock. I'll go down, work out for maybe about an hour or so.
At your house?
Yeah, it's a weight bench in my basement.
Okay.
So get done with that, come back upstairs, probably about 5 o'clock. I'll eat some breakfast, make some eggs, cottage cheese or something like that. Everybody's still sleeping. I'll make the girls milk. I'll make Cece's milk. I'll bring it upstairs. Bella's usually kind of iffy on milk in the morning, so I just fill up the water bottles, put it in the refrigerator. Make sure the backpacks have changed clothes, their hat, and if it's like a swim, like a water day or something, make sure they have water shoes in there, make sure they have sunscreen, make sure all that in their backpacks.
Change clothes for what?
In case they have an accident. Like,
Oh, okay. They're little. Yeah. Okay.
And not much Bella, but Celeste.
Sure.
And make sure they have their little blankies if they, whenever they go nap.
Okay.
They have all that with them. I have that all laid out, and then I go to work. So when the kids dictate when Shanann wakes up, and usually it's Bella. She'll come in there, lay in the bed with her, and then Celeste, she'll wake up. They'll come in and lay in the bed with her, and they'll watch cartoons for a little while at least. And probably about 6:30, they'll get out. Shanann she'll probably be in the bathroom at this point in time while they're watching, because Celeste has her milk at that point in time, and she's just chilling in the bed.
Okay.
Shanann's getting ready. She'd probably take a shower, put makeup on, all that kind of stuff, and then takes the kids over into their rooms, gets them dressed, out of their pajamas, and Bella has a school uniform. Cece didn't have one yet, so get them dressed, go downstairs, have breakfast. Cece will probably have cereal. Bella probably some like cinnamon toast. Have that. They might have a little snack on the way to school, maybe some dry cereal or something.
Okay.
Put them in the cars and go to school. And then they'll stay at school usually until about 4 o'clock, 4:30. I'll usually be home by then. I can go pick them up. I go in there, sign them out, get them in the car, drive back. They'll be screaming the whole way because they want mommy. Because that's what they do after a long day of school. And get home. Shanann will have something for the girls, being whatever they want. Either it might be pizza, sometimes they want french fries, sometimes they want chicken nuggets, sometimes kielbasa, just whatever. Most of them, they have butter noodles, they love that.
Okay.
So wash their hands, sit them at the table, and they'll eat their dinner. Get them all washed up, get them dried off, get some lotion, get their pajamas on, back downstairs, have a little nighttime snack. They'll pick it, Cheez-Its, wafers, something like that. And they'll sit on their little couches and they'll watch a cartoon until about 7 o'clock, and then between 6:30 and 7, we're giving them the medicine and any medicine they need at that point in time, if one of them has fever or whatever else. And then brush their teeth upstairs. Cece gets an overnight diaper, Bella doesn't, and read them a book. Cece usually wants the tiger book, and I read that to her. We growl at the last part, turn the rain machines on.
Is that what you said? Choose your tiger?
Yes.
Does that come to mind?
Yes.
Okay.
And turn the rain machines on, give both kids good night. Cece wants me to put her to bed, Bella wants Shanann to put her to bed, and close the door, and night-night.
Okay. All right. Can we talk a little bit about the morning that they disappeared? We already talked about 4 o'clock alarm, prep until 4:15. Correct me if I'm wrong. 4:15, this challenging talk starts. You leave somewhere around 5:30ish, 5:20 something, 5:27. And then what was your day like?
So I went out to locations.
Where's that?
The oil locations.
Oh, locations. Okay.
Yeah. So I worked out on those old locations until 12:10. That's when I got the doorbell visitor notification.
What do you do out there? What do you do at work?
I'll operate the oil and gas locations we have running.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like either maintenance or just like inspections or like trying to get them running again type of thing.
And are you the guy with the wrench or are you the boss?
I'm one of the field coordinators.
Okay.
So like the area we have is it's really big. So like I have me and 2 other guys are field coordinators. Then we have 2 rovers, which they go around to the area and they help other operators. And we have 6 route operators.
Okay.
So the field coordinators, we kind of get everybody like, all right, this is what we're going to do today type of thing, and disperse type of thing.
So then when you left at 5:30, which location did you go to?
So the Survey 319.
Which is
Generally, well location.
Is it a well location?
Yeah, we have the Survey 1029.
Survey?
Yeah, it's just well names.
Survey?
Yeah.
Like S-E-R-V-Y?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was the 1129, and we say the 1029 most of the day.
And so these are numbers I don't even understand.
There's like section number, well number type things. That's how they name them.
Okay. So then it might be that, God forbid, 2 weeks from now, we're still looking for them. And it's going to be very important that all of this can jar your memory, right?
Yeah.
So I'm taking notes to serve you what?
So we have the 1129.
Where'd you go first?
The 319.
319. Where and what crossroads would that be?
Oh, it's out in the ranch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Survey 319. Okay.
Yeah.
How long were you at Survey 319?
Probably about an hour.
Okay. Just telling the boys what to do?
I was out there checking a line that we had leaking on Friday.
Okay. Okay, and that took about an hour?
Yep.
Then what?
Went to the 1129.
Okay. Again, is that in the middle of a ranch?
Yeah, it's the same ranch.
Okay. Oh, so how far away?
Not far.
Walking distance?
No.
Oh, walking. That's a big ranch.
Yeah, you don't drive there.
Okay. How long were you at 1129?
Probably about 20 minutes or so.
Doing what?
I was just doing an inspection over there. See if I can get the weld run again.
Okay.
This one you have to kind of run manually.
Okay. And then where?
The 1029. We were there most of the rest of the day.
Doing what?
We're trying to get a pumping unit to pump back up. And stuffing box rubbers were leaking and the rods were smoking, so we had to replace them. That's what took a very long time.
And how long were you out there?
The rest until 12:10.
So 6-7 hours?
Well, yeah, like
5, 6, okay.
at least like 5 hours. It seemed like 5, 6
And
hours.
were there people with you?
Oh yeah, there's people with me. Like I gave them the names.
Okay.
There was
the police know?
Yeah, Troy McCoy, Chad McNeil, Melissa Parrish, Cody Roberts. They were all out there with me.
Okay. And you said you called home at 7:30 or so?
I texted 7:40.
Okay. And that was something like where are you?
Yeah, I couldn't go back that far on my phone to see when I called, but I did call her 2 or 3 times during that.
And why then? Was that a better part of the day for you to text?
Yeah, because like I was at that point in time, like I was actually trying to call my foreman and everything else, just to talk to him, to tell him what I found, and it kept just like it wouldn't ring out there.
What you found? What do you mean?
The line that was leaking. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like we had a bypass line, back pressure lined up tied to a down command to an oil tank, and it was leaking on the ground.
Okay.
But like I was not getting any phone calls through, so that's why I was texting.
Okay. Okay. So let's have the hard conversation again. Okay. How old are they?
4 and 3. So it'll be 5 in December.
Okay. You can imagine that every day that goes by,
It gets harder to find.
where we don't find your girls, it's going to get harder to find. We're going to have less clues. Things that we need to get and we need to use, the methods that we need to do to find them are going to start getting blown away by weather, getting re-recorded over themselves at the surveillance board that's going to tell us. All of that is going to disappear, okay? And that's why we're going to spend so much time today, tomorrow, as in the front as we can, right? You can also imagine that every day that goes by, we're going to be looking for the man who did this, okay? And you can imagine that we're going to include you as that man. So, let's talk about that. I think that you're trying to put on a brave face because you're a man and you're a father and you're a husband. I can tell that there's just something you're not telling me. And I'm not sure what it is. I don't know why that is. I don't know why you're not telling me, but there's something that's making you a little bit uncomfortable tonight. I just don't believe some of the things you're telling me. Okay, I just don't. Simply do not believe you.
What makes you think? What have I said that makes you not believe me at all?
This just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. So can we talk about 2 Chris's? Okay.
2 Chris's.
A tale of 2 Chris's? Okay. And you need to help me know which Chris I'm looking at today and which Chris you really are. So, Chris number 1 is right here, right? And fell out of love with his wife. Okay. Started wondering what it might be. He didn't have a wife to take care of and a girl to take care of. Spent some time alone. Liked that time alone. Came home. May or may not have had a conversation about how to get out of this marriage or how to fix it, but probably how to get out of it. Is looking at a bachelor pad in Brighton and did something terrible to his wife and kids. And that may have been an accident. And I think it was an accident.
That's not the Chris you're looking at right now. No. And the Chris you're looking at is the man who loves these kids and loves his wife and will never, ever, ever do anything to harm them. That's the Chris you're looking at right now. The Chris you're looking at right now wants these kids and his wife back at his house right now. That's the Chris you're looking at.
Why didn't you call 911?
I didn't think anything was wrong.
I think you knew what was wrong.
I did not know what was wrong, sir. I promise you that.
What do you think it's going to look like when someone finds out that it was not you that called 911?
Everybody's going to have their own perception about what's going on here. But I know my wife. I know that sometimes she doesn't text me back. I know that happens. I've been that. It's happened multiple times throughout many days. If she's busy with work, it doesn't happen. That's why it didn't register for me that day.
We're back to his tale of 2 Chris's, Chris.
Okay.
There's a Chris who cares.
I care. I promise.
Tell me about the call to your daycare.
To the Primrose. I called them to see if the girls were there. He said they weren't there.
Okay.
I told him since they weren't there, just put them back on the waiting list.
That's not what you told me.
I told him that we were going to sell the house. We're going to put it on the market. We probably won't be in the area anymore.
That's 2 different things, Chris.
Well, I wanted them to be back on put them on the waiting list since they weren't there.
Why weren't they there?
I don't know.
Where were they going to go?
They went to Shanann took them to a friend's house.
Why wasn't they go to daycare?
I am not sure. Honestly, sir, I am not sure.
It's hard for me as a father to talk to you about this. Not because it's a hard issue to talk about. It's because I'm worried about your daughters under your care.
You shouldn't have to worry about them under my care.
Okay.
I watched them all weekend. I went to a pool party at Jeremy Lindstrom's house. It's like, I love those kids with all my heart. Nothing in this world would ever make me do anything to these kids or my wife.
When you walk out of this room, there's nothing I can say to a room full of police officers that's going to convince them that you have nothing to do with this.
I know.
You know what they think.
I know it all. Yeah.
Here's a guy who didn't call 911, who woke his wife up at a ridiculous hour because he was so guilty about something that he had to get it off his chest and say, I don't love you anymore, I'm leaving you. That didn't go well. Okay, so what happened?
She told me she wanted me to wake her up before I left. That's why I didn't just wake her up, like, just to tell her this. Like, I woke her up. That's what she wanted to do, and we talked. Like, usually at 4 a.m. I wake up, I go down and work out. This day, I wanted to talk to her about this. I love these girls. I love these girls so much. And this picture right here, Celeste and Bella, those are my life. I helped make those kids. There's nothing in my life that means more to me than these kids. Nothing. Kids, that's your life. That's your lifeline. That's everything. Like, you make kids, they come first before anything. Kids, spouse, family. That's what it's always been.
Nothing you've told me tonight makes sense. Nothing you've told me tonight feels like the truth. Can we start over?
Sure.
I think that there's something that happened that got maybe a little bit out of control.
There was no fight. There was nothing physical. It was a conversation. We didn't raise our voice. Nothing. I promised you that. So there was nothing physical with this conversation.
What was the last thing you saw about your daughters?
Last thing I saw, like when I left,
What did it look like?
saw them in the monitor as it was switching back and forth.
What's the last thing you saw with your wife?
She was laying back in bed as I was walking out the bedroom door.
Okay. When we find the guy who took him, what do you think we should do?
Honestly, like, they're gonna come home safe, correct? When you find the guy.
When we find the guy, they're gonna come home.
Life in prison would be that's what I would think with 2 kids that are involved.
What if he hurt them?
I'm not sure if like that penalty is even used. Is it used in Colorado? I'm not even sure.
What is?
The death penalty?
Okay.
I mean, like, if these kids are not alive, like, there's nothing you could do to cope with that, to make me cope with that, if those kids are not okay.
Okay. All right. What was your plan after you guys separated?
Try to get an apartment.
Yeah. Nearby?
Oh, we'd just go our separate ways. Like, I would probably get an apartment. She would try to sell the house first, of course, before we could do anything with that.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, like, try to both get an apartment somewhat close.
Okay.
So that, like, it's a 50-50 thing, like, because I was going to go on an 8 and 6 schedule in September.
Okay.
And then I would have 6 days off, and it would be perfect to, I would have kids for half, and she'd have half, and that would work.
All right. Tonight's been pretty intense, I can imagine. How are you feeling?
I slept like 2 hours last night, so I'm like running on empty right now. But
I can see it. So why don't I do this? I'm sure you don't mind if we take a break for the night. And I'm sure that you are feeling some of the pressure from me. Okay?
you're doing your job.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't grill you a little bit, right?
I've seen you telling 2 different guys. Like, honestly, like I've seen like where you're smiling, and I've seen where it's different.
Yeah.
You're doing your job though. Like I can't fault you for anything you've asked.
So can I make a commitment to you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to commit to you that we're not going to stop working until we find them.
Okay.
Okay. And I want to commit to you that there is going to come a time when you're going to feel this pressure from other people. I'm not the only one who thinks that there's a possibility you have something to do with this.
Like another FBI agent, like pressure, or like just like
Everyone.
okay,
Everyone, Chris.
okay.
Have you ever watched the news and said 2 girls and a pregnant woman go missing? Okay, if that's all you heard, what do you think the public thinks? Husband. Okay. So, I'm going to make a commitment to you. Okay. I'm going to commit to you that I'm going to be your guy. Okay. I'm going to be your guy that handles the investigation. Okay. And I'm going to be your guy that you can come to. Okay. Because I hope that you realize I'm a nice guy. Tonight we had to talk about some tough things, but I hope that you know that I did it respectfully. I think that you can see that. And so, as we go on through tonight, the hours, the days, and I hope we don't get to hours or days. I hope it's minutes, right? Until this is over.
Yes.
But just in case it's not, I want you to know that I wanted to be in this room tonight. I wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
Okay. And I hope that you want to talk to me. Okay. When you have questions, when you have concerns, I want you to call the detective that you work with, and I want you to call me. Okay. I want you to know that if you have a question, if you think we're not doing something enough or well enough, I want you to say, I gotta call Graham. I gotta call Dave.
Okay.
Okay. When you need to have a night to yell at somebody and maybe have a good cry, I want you to call me.
Sure.
Okay. I can't imagine what you're going through. I just can't.
Today's been the whirlwind from, like, yesterday I thought she was just at somebody's house, and today with the drones, the police, and the news, it was like a scene out of a movie.
That's too much. It's too much for one person to handle.
My dad's flying in tomorrow.
Good. Okay. So your dad, who else do you have?
Nick and Amanda, Dave, Jeremy.
Okay. Now, you only know me for 3 hours, but I want to be part of that team.
Okay.
Okay? I want to be part of the team that helps you, and I want you to be part of my team.
Okay.
Okay? Tonight, when you go home, one of 2 things is going to happen. You're going to pass out because you're so tired. Okay? And that's probably not going to be what happens. Your head's going to go race. Okay? So tonight, when you lay down and your head starts racing, there's going to be things that come to your mind. Okay? This always happens. Always. It's very natural. You're going to say, I wonder why he asked me that. Okay? You're going to say, screw him. How dare he accuse me? Okay? You're going to say, I wonder if they thought of this. Okay? And then you're going to say, I probably should have told him something, or this, or that. Okay? Those are the most common things. When those thoughts come to your head, I want you to call me. I want you to call Dave. Okay? It's fair for your mind to race, so I want you to call me. Okay? You need a lifeline. You need someone you can call. I want to be that guy. All right? And I want you to know that if I didn't accuse you a little bit, you'd probably wonder if I was good at my job.
One of my buddies, he is straight with me. He was like, dude, I'll just be no veil, like none of this looks good. So it's like he's like, I'm not gonna accuse anybody, but like I'm not gonna be like, he has his wife and their friends. It's like they won't talk to you right now. I'm like, no.
So we had this Chris, right? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the other Chris. He's just right here. Okay. I can see that you're a good man, right? You don't have beautiful daughters with good clothing that look well fed, right? Children that are unhappy don't smile like this, okay? And those are beautiful kids. Those kids have a good dad, and I know it.
I just see the picture it's on my phone.
Yeah.
It's a better one, but it's just, I'm sorry too.
Those kids have a good dad. Good dad that feeds them and that loves them. I was very impressed when I asked you how their day was about how involved you are.
Okay. See me on the weekend.
A lot of dads don't get second pairs of clothes and cook eggs and give them snacks at night. You know, a lot of men, that's woman's work, right?
I'd like to get involved.
But you're not that kind of guy. Okay. So, Chris, can you just look at me for 1 second? If there is something that happened, it's okay. It really is.
Yeah.
Okay. If something that happened with these girls, if there was an accident, if there's something you're afraid to tell me, it's okay.
Yeah.
If there's something that happened with your wife, it's okay. Okay? You can always tell me. And if you want to talk 15 minutes after you leave, I'll answer the phone. If you want to talk in the middle of the morning, I'll answer the phone. Okay? What I want to happen is, if that's what happened, if there was something that got out of hand, if there's something you know, I want you to go home and I want you to know that I'm the guy you can talk to, okay, who's not going to judge you. I have kids. Sometimes I joke with my wife, I just need 2 weeks alone, you know? Like when you told me about your 4 to 5 weeks alone, I was like, wow, that sounds like a slice of heaven, right? Sometimes it's a bit much. Okay? So let's do this. We're going to take a little break. I'm going to help organize the search at your house tonight. Okay? I still want to do that.
Okay. I was just going to go to my friend's house and just get away.
Okay. Now,
hopefully they
still awake. I can't tell you that we have to do it. Okay.
If like you said, it rained tonight.
Yeah.
Like hard. Like it blew 4 trash cans in my yard.
Let's get on it, right?
Like it's whatever's there is there, and I want it found.
I want to do that. I want to talk to you again tomorrow. Okay. I want you to get a good night's sleep and a good breakfast and a good workout, whatever you got to do, whatever your morning routine is.
My dad flies in the morning about like 8 or 9.
Okay.
So
what time should we plan on doing that?
Can I get him back home first and then come here?
Of course.
Okay.
And listen, of course, take your time, get settled in. So what time is he flying?
He should be here around 8 or 9.
8 or 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's flying from North Carolina.
Here's what I would love to have happen. He's flying in 8 or 9. You got to go get him. You got to get him back. He's going to want to know everything.
Yeah.
Okay, he's your dad. Okay.
He's called me like 10 times today.
That's going to take forever. And he's going to have questions and comments and concerns. Okay. I would love for you and me as a team to talk tomorrow, to do a polygraph tomorrow, and move past all of it. Okay? Move past me wondering about Chris, me about wondering which Chris I'm talking to. I want to move past it. I just want to get it behind us. Okay? And then our talks are going to be a lot more comfortable than they were tonight. So can we say that tomorrow at 11 o'clock?
Sure.
We can do a polygraph? Here. Okay? And there might be little tweaks. It might be at a different office or this. We're not going to try to rock your world too much. We know what you're going through.
Okay.
I want to get that done. I want to just move past it. Okay? Could we do that?
Yeah.
11 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions for him?
No, like, I have your phone number.
Yeah.
So that, like, if his flight does get delayed, I can call you.
Yeah, absolutely. You have days, right?
Yes. So you based that up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You know that's a 24-hour number, okay?
Okay.
Let's make that happen tomorrow.
Listen to this phrase. I think I knew it was going to happen. That sentence avoids certainty, while still implying awareness. It's careful language. And careful language is rarely accidental. This change wasn't about accountability. It was about perception. Blame no longer served the narrative he wanted attached to his name. So it was removed. That doesn't signal growth. It signals calculation. In this interview, religious language appears. Forgiveness. Peace. Moving forward. But notice what's missing. There's no focus on impact. Only on personal relief. Spiritual language can be sincere, but it can also be used as emotional insulation. At one point, he describes his current situation as manageable. He says he's adjusting, sleeping, settling in. That level of comfort tells us something important. True accountability is restless. This isn't. This second confession wasn't closure. It wasn't clarity. It was an attempt to make the story quieter, cleaner, more controlled. And that's why it matters. Because harm doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it explains itself calmly. If someone rewrites history instead of facing it, pay attention. If someone minimizes impact, pay attention. If someone needs to be seen as good more than accountable, pay attention. Because behavior like this doesn't begin in an interview room. It begins long before. Type Amen one last time for Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico. If this breakdown helped you see narrative manipulation more clearly, share it. And tell me in the comments, do you think we ever heard the full truth? Or only the version he wanted remembered?